finally back with another live broadcast. We haven't done this in a little while, but we finally managed to get it back here. We are coming at you live, HTL Racing League, live from Bristol Motor Speedway. What a race to come back on. This is going to be a little intense, especially after the past couple weeks we've had here in this league. Don't even get me started on Las Vegas. But I'm joined here not by my normal partner in crime, Core, but I am instead joined by kind of a newbie to this, specifically for this league, Rock Chalk. How you doing, buddy?
I'm pretty good. You're stuck with me. I'm sorry no core tonight, but thanks for letting me join in. Look forward to it.
Oh, nah, man, you're gonna do just fine. Core is just he's the one missing out. Don't worry about it. But yes, Rock Chalk, race with you in another league, so looking forward to doing this with you, doing a little bit of broadcasting with you. See how this goes.
Yeah, no, look forward to it, and great race to join in with Bristol. So there'll be a little bit of beating and banging. It sounds like tonight.
If if this Bristol race is anything like the Grand National Truck Series race that we just had at Bristol, as we know, well, as you don't know, but as everyone knows, Friday night's doubleheader, Grand National Series truck race, and then the same track for the Cup Series immediately afterwards. So the truck race was it wasn't that bad, but it kind of was for me. We won't talk about it though. I'm not good at Bristol.
Yeah, I know you enough that Does that mean you were maybe involved in a couple fender benders out there?
We could call it fender benders if that's what you want to call it. We 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 won't go too into detail. I did come out with a fifth place finish though, so there's always that.
Hey, there you go, top five, and say no more. I mean, Bristol, it's close quarters there. Obviously, you're gonna be not worried about keeping the car straight, but just keeping it on the track.
Yeah, absolutely. I personally always go for stability over speed at Bristol. I can't get it right when I go for speed at Bristol. I'm always on the wall, but these guys these guys here are not truck series drivers. These guys are the best of this league, and it's quite a bit of a situation going into this race because um, we have a couple of interesting storylines going on here. One, I mean, McDawgFan in the number nine Tribe Motorsports Camaro is just tearing it up this season, and he's already got two wins going into this race. And then on the other end, you have guys who are maybe a little bit disappointing, but we'll get to that in these pre-race interviews as I see we have everyone in here. So I want to go ahead and get started on these. I want to start with McDawgFan. You got me, buddy?
What's going on, guys?
Going pretty good. Um, so McDawgFan, two wins on the season, and one of them being the Daytona 500. But this is, I'd say, the first real test when it comes to just intense tracks. You know what I mean? I mean, there's Vegas, there's Phoenix, there's Daytona, but Bristol is always something different. With your two
Right.
wins coming in, how do you feel about racing at a track like Bristol right now?
Well, unlike a lot of these guys, I don't have any pressure on my shoulders. I'm locked in. I focus on the fast laps. I can focus on running for the win if I want to, and I'm going to be there regardless. So I have that to lean on. Plus, this is one of my best tracks. I'm very confident running any lane here and in traffic, without traffic. I'm just looking forward to it. Like I said, I don't have any pressure on my shoulders, so no
Well,
worries
you
here.
you actually just raced, which may come a little bit in handy for you. You just raced in the Grand National Series, but not quite the finish you wanted, huh?
Nah, my teammate had a little something to say with that.
Yeah.
We were running stage one, and I guess I let up a little bit too much for him, and he decided to give me the old Earnhardt on the rear bumper,
Oh,
and took my tires off the ground and spun me. So I fought the rest of the race, 4 laps down, racing with the leaders. So
yeah. You kept blowing by me, but I was ahead of you. It felt really weird. I didn't know how to feel, but yeah, you just raced Grand National Series. You did come away with a great finish, but you're locked into the playoffs, like you said. You got your two wins already. Season just started basically, so there's really nowhere to go but up from here. I mean, it's You're in a great spot.
I'm just building that points resume now, man. That's pretty much it. Getting as many consistent finishes as I can, which I've struggled with this season, even with having 2 wins. Had a bit of a lag issue at Vegas, and then Auto Club loaded in the wrong setup, so there's been some issues in that department. So I'm trying to keep on that streak of finishing the races out and correcting those mistakes that I have made, and it's worked out so far so good this season. So we'll try to keep with that and see if we can't come away with another one tonight.
Oh yeah, I remember the last season's struggles with pit road and everything, but you're cleaning it up. You're getting it done.
Yes, sir.
I want to talk to you one last thing before we let you go here. If it's not gonna be you, which of your teammates do you think has the best shot at taking Bristol?
Tonight, I'd have to say Groove. Um, well, me, Groove, and Cup, all three have worked pretty close together at this track over the past few days. But I feel like Groove's got a little bit better grasp on it. He was already good at this track as is, and he's just done nothing but learn today. And he also ran the Grand National Series, so I feel like having that track experience is going to be big here tonight.
For sure. Well, um, you go do your thing out there, buddy. You bring home win number 3.
Appreciate that, brother.
Have a
Y'all
good
have
one.
fun tonight.
Thanks.
Good luck.
All right, and now we move on to Dawgman. How you doing, buddy?
Doing pretty good, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good, but I don't believe you, given the past events of the past week or so. I don't believe you're doing that great.
Hey, standings may not say it, but I'm excited to be at Bristol. I love this track. It's probably my favorite track on the schedule. I'm excited to see how we're doing. I'm excited that this body armor car is back on the track. Last time we ran it, we got second, so I'm looking to improve on that. I'm just thrilled to be here.
So you mentioned you're not doing too great in the standings right now, but given your history in this league, the only driver in league history to make every single championship race, given where you are in the standings, do you still think that's happening?
I mean, I would love for it to happen. We got to think we're only 2 weeks, 3 weeks into the season. I think we're only on race 6 or 7 out of a 28 race regular season. I mean, I got time. I have faith in my ability to get back up there, especially when I'm going to a track like this. I got a lot of good tracks coming up. That West Coast swing that we had didn't have a lot of my good tracks in it. Unfortunate that we had to miss Indy, but I'm glad we're back, and I think we got a good stretch of races coming up, and I think we can crawl our way back up.
So it's not time to hit the panic button just yet.
No, not at all. I'm completely relaxed, excited. I think it's going to be a good race.
I wanted to briefly touch on something that happened today, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Saints stepping down from the league.
Yeah,
Kinda
it
big.
was certainly unexpected. But, we move on. Make it to a 4-man team. We'll be all right. We'll miss him, but I think we're going to be okay. Obviously, we've won the last. I mean, he has missed the last 2 races, and we actually won those last 2 races as a team. So I'm not too concerned.
Yeah, that's right. You're going for the sweep this week, ain't you?
We are. We've actually been talking about that a lot, trying to get a tombstone sweep of this week.
That would be absolutely wild. I don't think I've seen anything like that yet. That'd be crazy.
Be a lot of fun. Definitely put our stake as one of the best teams in this league. Obviously, I've been kind of the anchor on this, the anchor as in like bringing us down, and not in holding it together. I know I'm last in standings for our team. A lot of my team's already locked in, but I'm looking to make up that ground for us. Looking to not be as much as a detriment for this team as I am right now, but I think we'll be okay.
Well, one last thing I wanted to get into before I let you go so y'all can start your qualifying and get your stuff done.
Yeah.
Not speaking as a driver, but speaking as the commissioner of this league, is there what cup driver so far has impressed you the most, whether it be their consistency or whether it be because of their improvement?
That's a good one. I think there's been a lot of drivers that have shown a lot of consistency, a lot of improvements. There have been some the other way, me being one of them. But I think it's not really one driver you got to look. I mean, you have your usual suspects, McDawg, Weekend Hunt. You know, those guys are running 1, 2, 3 in the points right now. But Great One coming up and stepping up and being really good. Shocks coming back, being really good. And one person I don't think a lot of people are paying attention to is Moutre. I think Moutre's really, even though some of his finishes hasn't, you know, reflected on it, he's really started to show up at these non-super speedway tracks, which I know he's been working a lot on, and I have a lot of faith that he's going to continue on that and be really competitive at these non-super speedway tracks. So I'm really going to say Moutre.
Moutre, it seems like it's been more bad luck than anything for Moutre so far this season, but he has run very consistently well. But with that being said, I'm gonna let you go ahead, get everyone into qualifying and do your thing.
Yeah, thanks, man. I want to thank Body Armor, Tombstone Motorsports. Excited to be back at the greatest track in the world. Can't be Bristol.
That's a stretch, but sure. Go
No,
ahead,
it's
buddy.
Bristol, baby.
All right, well, go do your thing, bud.
All right, yes, sir. Thank y'all.
All right, Rock. Well, looks like they're
There we
gonna
have it. Yeah.
yeah, they're gonna do their thing. They're gonna do qualifying, and while they're doing qualifying, I'll let you know. The way we do it is they'll send us an invite. Once you get the invite, don't join. They'll tell me when to join, and then
Okay.
once we get the confirmation, you can go ahead and get in there. But
Sounds good.
yeah, so a couple things to go over there. As he mentioned, he's not doing too great in the standings right now. Currently 14th in points, which is not something I saw coming because I had him, I think, second or third in my power rankings coming into the season. So that's not something I expected for sure. But
Well,
another,
it sounds like talking to him. If there's a track to bounce back, the Bristol is the one. So I think he could be competitive.
I'm talking about Bristol plenty of times before. I'm pretty sure I called a Bristol race last season, but yeah, I think I did. I'm not exactly sure where he finished in that, but regardless, he'll bring it back eventually. Maybe this race, we'll see. Another notable kind of standout that I wanted to point out was Larold, the driver of the number 19 Regium Motorsports Toyota Camry. Will not be running tonight's race, and he is currently 15th in points, so that's going to hurt him a little bit. Currently out of the playoffs, and it looks like it's going to remain that way for at least another race.
Now, you mentioned it sounds like he came out of retirement this last season. Is he trying to go for partial schedule this year? Ease his way back in?
I know he left the league after season one. He was handed the Hall of Fame title, and then he decided to come back for season 4 for full time. But it just recently he's been a little busy, so.
Gotcha.
So he will not. He's my driver, by the way. I don't know if I told you this. I own Regium Motorsports in this league.
Well, darn it. Yeah, I know. You need him out there. You need him out there next week, though. Next week, I guess.
Oh yeah, he'll come back, but just a little busy. That's fine. No big deal there. Life comes first. We all know that. But
That's right.
another driver I wanted to touch on. Dawgman touched on him a little bit. Was Shocks and that number 37 Newfound Glory Camaro. Shocks last season. I mean, he was a good driver last season, right? I think what hurt him the most last season was just his attendance. But now he's showing up in 7th in points. As someone who has watched and participated in this league for a pretty long time now, Shocks being up there in 7th in points, it's surprising. I mean, it's a good surprise, but it's still surprising given what happened last season with his attendance and not being able to consistently compete. But now it looks like he's getting that turned around. The entire Newfound Glory team actually is kind of killing it lately. You've got Shocks, you've got DJ in the 43, you've got John, and you've got Fuzzy. And John and Fuzzy are out of the playoffs right now, but they've both been improving quite a bit. So I don't expect them both to stay out of the playoff hunt for too much longer. But
And still early on in the season too. So, but
yeah,
it sounds like they definitely got some momentum going.
yeah, very very early in the season, but they do have quite a bit of momentum. We'll see what they can do to turn it around. But I wanted to go over a couple statistics we have so far going into this race. Your league leaders right now, McDawgFan leads with 2 wins. Your points leader, however, is Weekend, and that's number 22 Tombstone Motorsports Mustang. He's actually your points leader despite the 2 wins from the number 9. Average finish, Hunt in that number 2 Mustang. We got to discuss that a little bit. Hunt in that number 2 Tombstone Motorsports Mustang has an average finish of 4.17 this season.
How is that possible?
That's wild. I don't know. He's coming off a win as well. Now, last season, the championship race was at Indianapolis. Hunt was not in the Final Four, despite being your regular season champion with, I believe, 8 wins, which is astronomical to me.
Yeah,
but
no kidding. Yeah.
but he was not in the Final Four. He had a kind of an early playoff exit, but he still won the championship race at Indianapolis. He just didn't win the championship, obviously. That went to Cup, who finished second. But he just won Indianapolis again on Wednesday. So he's coming into this with an average finish of 4.17 and coming off of a win, his first win of the season, last season's regular season champion. I think Hunt's going to be a contender just based off of all of that.
Well, if I read the stats correctly here, it looks like he's also your biggest mover in the series right now, too. So combine that with some momentum, a recent win. I think he might be my pick, my early pick to win tonight.
I'm not entirely sure if Hunt considers himself a short track specialist, but I guess we'll see tonight. Playoff points, McDawgFan 11. He's won 2 races. I mean, that's going to happen. And polls, Cup and Weekend both have 2. Now, Cup being your regular season, or I'm sorry, Cup being your series champion, down there in 9th in the points. I know Dawgman said it's not time to hit the panic button for him, and he's sitting back in 14th. So if he's not worried, Cup shouldn't be. But I'm wondering when Cup does decide to hit that panic button a little bit, because he's in the playoffs, no biggie. Right now he's in the playoffs when it comes to points. But you would think Cup wants to rack up some more of these points, maybe get a win or 2 here coming up pretty soon, just to really solidify that spot.
Never want to be sitting in the 9 spot any point in the season, but it sounds like with the experience that he has, obviously a defending champion, a win here and there, and you're right back in the top 5 or better.
Absolutely. We'll see what Cup can do to kind of pull it together, but he's having a consistent season. Now, you don't know this, but Cup's nickname is Mr. Consistency, because we're talking about a man last season. He had, I believe, 2 wins for the whole season, and he points his way into every single round of the playoffs. Not a single win.
Wow.
But even then, he still managed to win the championship despite not winning the race. So he technically points his way into a championship.
The nickname fits, apparently. That's impressive.
Yeah.
It's hard to go through the playoffs without a win. I know that from some experience. And I think if he can keep that consistency going, he should be in good shape then.
Yeah, I mean, I told him, when he advanced to the Final Four, like, hey, you can't point your way into a title, and then he did it. So it's always nice to be proven wrong like that. But
right, exactly. He showed you.
yeah, we'll see if Mr. Consistency can keep that up though. And as for the other Final Four drivers, your Final Four last season was Dawgman, McDawgFan, Cup, and Groove. Groove is someone haven't talked too much about yet, but McDawgFan did mention him as his favorite to win this race if it's not going to be him. Groove last season was a rookie and won, was it 7 wins? I can't remember exactly how many wins. But Groove was a rookie sensation last year. I'm wondering if he can keep that going into this season. Looking at the standings, he's doing good. I don't want to say sophomore slump, but when you make the Final Four, you got quite a high bar to reach in your second season,
And 7 wins last year, and none so far this season. You could maybe call that a sophomore slump.
I mean, if you're gonna have a sophomore slump, I guess this is the one to have, you know.
That's right. That's right.
As long as you're still doing well, you're in the playoffs, and he definitely is. So, but we have received the invites, so we're not going to join just yet. Dawgman will tell me when, and then we'll join. We'll get your starting lineup, and then get on in the race and start calling it. But as I was saying, yeah, Groove, the rookie sensation. We'll see if he can bring it back. Maybe get a win. And you never know, that one win might kind of roller coaster into 7 more. So it's definitely possible.
Definitely, definitely.
So
Might check on my invite here just to make sure I can get in with you guys. Oh, there we go. All right.
so
Go ahead.
yeah, no, I was just making sure we were all good there. But
Yeah.
but what was it? Oh yes, Rock, I consider you to be a better driver than me, especially when it comes to a track like Bristol. So a personal opinion, if you will, from an expert. What's the key to winning at Bristol? Not placing well. What do you have to do at Bristol if you want to win?
I think
Join, by the way.
when this track, as small as it is, the margin for error is very slim. If you're not watching it right, take the wrong turn, get spun, get wrecked, you'll find yourself in the pits and your day is done early on. So I think it's minimizing mistakes first and foremost, and then finding yourself out front as you reach that last stage.
So we have gotten the go ahead to join, so
All
go
right.
ahead and accept one of those invites and then get on in. I'll very briefly go over the starting lineup. Groove and that number 5 tribe car, starting P1. P2 will be his teammate McDawgFan. P3 will be their other teammate Cup in the 24. P4 will be Weekend in that number 22 Tombstone Motorsports Mustang. P5 will be Dawgman, his teammate. P6 will be Shocks, who we just talked about. P7 will be Hunt in that number 2 car. P8 will be Dabster in the number 88. Let's see, P9 will be Jaybird in the number 20. 10th will be Great One in the 11 car. P11 will be John Reimer in the 00. And it looks like P12 will be Moutre, who maybe did not qualify. Why can I not? Okay, you're going to have to give me 1 second to fix some of this. There we go. Watching a live race now. Sorry, I kind of messed that up a little bit, but
All good, all good. Looks like we're under caution currently.
under caution already, huh? Under caution already, and I missed it.
Oh, which, I mean, not a surprise. I think, especially at these short tracks like Bristol, you're going to get a lot of cautions at the beginning. And appears that that's how we're going to start today. So,
Well, sorry we missed the wreck that caused this caution on the broadcast, but
it's all right. We'll stack them back up. We'll get things going.
we'll start up here at the front of the pack. We have the number 9 and the number 24, 2 teammates over at Tribe Motorsports as they take the green flag going into turn 1 now. We'll see which Groove kind of gets that initial push. It looks like the 24 is going to take P1, and he's going to have the advantage coming off of that first restart. So, Cup,
Yep,
you're
it looks like
defending series
that outside
champion.
line coming off definitely is helping out the 24 car.
Yeah, and he's not. It doesn't look like he's pulling away per se, but the 24 is consistently running up there right now, and he's not really giving anyone a chance to get that pass. Now, speaking from your experience, when it comes to making a pass at Bristol, do you prefer the high side or the low side personally?
You know, I think I would follow suit with the 24, and I like the high side. Just the run that you can get coming out of turns 2 and 4 is just so strong that I think that's the way to go.
Looks like we have a car down in the apron. I'm not sure who that was. Let's
See
go
the
back
20
here.
of Jaybird.
Yes, the 20 of Jaybird looked like he may have gotten a little loose, just went down the apron a little bit, but it doesn't look like it hurt him too bad. He's going to
Nope,
line
looks like
back.
he's got right back in line now.
Yeah, right back behind his teammate in that number 11. A great one. Let's go on board up here. I want to take a look at, let's go on with Weekend. He's in P3, running behind those Tribe Motorsports Camaros right now. We'll see if he can get any kind of advantage. Looks like he's going to get a little bit on the back bumper of the 9 there, but checks up.
Pretty wild seeing them each have a different line going through that last turn, too. You got one high, one in the middle, and one down low, so let's see what works.
I think these drivers right now are trying to fill out this track and try to see where they can find speed anywhere they possibly can, and they're gonna use that to their advantage if they do manage to find it. But it looks like right now the 24. I mean, he's given up a little bit of time in corner entry, but on corner exit on that higher line, he's getting the speed off the corner to keep that lead as Weekend goes into the wall a little bit.
That's a great point, though, just on that. The run you can get on the outside coming off the turns, and it's paying off for him.
Weekend in the wall a little there. Not sure if there was contact from the 9. There might have been minimal contact, but doesn't seem to have ruined his race quite yet or anything. He'll still fall back in at P3. Cup seems to be running away with this for the moment. Let's jump back here.
And after that first little caution there at the beginning, keeping them pretty clean so far, so that's good to see early on.
Yeah, we get in here and there's no action, so that's cool. But we have Dawgman here running P4. He's going to have shocks on. He's going to hit the wall.
Oh, yeah, right in the wall.
And somehow gain time on the 22. I'm not sure exactly how that happens.
Was that a planned wreck there? Was he trying to...
Maybe. He goes by the 22. Let's go back here. The 22 seems to be falling off a little bit. The 37 goes by. The 5 goes by. Not sure what's happening.
That high line.
I mean, it could just be the low line not working. Yeah, I mean, maybe the speed's not there, but he definitely fell off a little bit there. I'd imagine it was the line. It doesn't look like he has too much damage, but...
Yeah, dropping up to 6, looks like.
Yeah, falling back way back here. But it looks like, if we're being honest, you got Cup up there kind of running away with it a little bit, but he can't put too much separation on his teammate. These top, I'd say 6 cars, yeah, these top 6 cars seem to just be in another league right now.
Definitely seem to have an advantage on, we'll call it the second pack there. And really, what we're running 250 laps here today. No reason to push the needle too early. You know, space things out a little bit, find your groove, and it looks like that's what all these guys are doing.
As we see the 20 of Jaybird in the pits, I'm not sure if he got hit down in there or if he just had some damage he had to fix or what was going on, but the 20 is in pits right now.
And as you know, a short half-mile track like this, going down pit road early, your day might as well be done.
There is some time to maybe get a couple lucky, free passes if you can manage to keep on that. The first car.
We've had to play that game before.
Yeah,
work
a
the
few
cautions
times
in your favor.
A few times, maybe here and there, but as the 9 takes the outside now, and he's going to go up ahead of the 24, taking that high side. So definitely the high line is working right now. The 12 tries to get by. He might pull it off here in this corner.
That's what I love about how Bristol is set up now, is the multiple line racing. If any of you are familiar with Bristol in the past, it was
round
there. It looks like our leader. Yep.
Yeah,
hit
so
the
it looks
apron.
like he may have tried to get in pit road. Not sure. It doesn't look like it, but he did just hit the apron. And he's going to fall behind. He's going to fall in behind the 20 there, Jaybird. Unfortunate for him, but
talk about a turn of events. First to back of the field, real quick. Shows how fast things can change here at Bristol, though, right?
Exactly. I mean, Cup obviously has a very fast car, so we'll see if he can bring it back at some point. But what that's going to do now, that's going to leave the 9, his teammate, with all the clean air in the world and really no pressure behind him. He may run away with stage 1 here. as it looks
Yeah.
like.
That Chevy Camaro running pretty strong, and you know, as we saw, he already had taken the lead before, so had a fast car. Got a Ford, but then another round of Chevys right behind him.
Yeah, I'm on board with Weekend right now. It looks like he's having, it's not so much the speed in his car as much as it is he's having a little bit of trouble making the high line work. He may get a little loose on the corner exit. He dives down low this time, see if he can gain some time on the 5 ahead of him. I believe that's the 5. So
yeah, looks like there'll definitely be some adjustments made. First time these guys can get down pit road, maybe he can figure out a way to get that high line to work for him.
as we see the 20 go by the 22, that's not going to be for position. I don't have position information.
We've got a wreck on the back stretch there.
Yeah, the
20 definitely collided.
I believe, was it the 20 that kind of got loose there and just...
Yep, got up into the wall on the backstretch, and unfortunate, the 22 right behind him got collected.
There is no caution, and if that's not a caution, can someone tell me what is? Because
they swallowed the whistle. There, no flag.
They
no
swallowed
flag
the
out
whistle.
Today.
We see a little bit of damage on the 12 as well. I just want to point that out. Front end damage on that number 12 car.
Well, I do like racing Bristol. I find myself in the wall sometimes, and that may have been what happened there with the 12 car.
Possibly, could be. But that's going to put Shocks in that 37 car in second place. That's, as I was saying, it's surprising to see Shocks running as well as he is purely based off of where he finished last season because of his attendance. But I think he's showing every single week, every single race that he is a good driver and he can hang with these guys as long as he's here. So you love to see that number 37
again tonight.
The 5, of course, running P3 currently. Let's find, let's see, Dapster back here, kind of not as much of a threat as maybe he'd like to be early on. He's kind of racing around his teammate there in the 24. I'm wondering if the 24, as we see the 21 and the 88 on the wall almost simultaneously. That was interesting. I'm wondering...
tire wear, I think, has got to be playing a factor here a little bit.
It could be that. You know, I hadn't even really considered that, but, Jaybird back in the pits after that crash. He is not having a great race.
No. And, again, this short track, you go in, it's, you're going to go down multiple laps.
Absolutely. He had to have already been down 2 or 3 the first time around. Now, it might be a little unreachable for him to get back on that lead lap. However, I believe it was... What race was that? I believe it was Auto Club. He was down 2 laps in stage 3, the final stage, and won the race.
No.
Well. Yes. I mean, obviously you can't do the same thing at Bristol if you're down 15 laps, you know. But
no, but he showed that it can be done. So maybe we shouldn't count him out then.
I mean, I don't want to count him out. He's my driver. So
a little skin in the game helps too, right?
Ooh, the 12 of Dawgman in the wall. Looks like he's just getting loose on the corner exit. These tires have got to be. It's feeling like they're on ice. I'd imagine.
As these cars have put some laps on the tires, you can tell it looks like a lot of people are starting to move up the racetrack too.
Absolutely,
maybe
yeah.
help save tires a little bit. I'm riding around here. We got the Hunt 4 right now, and yeah, definitely getting up on the wall every couple laps here. So I think everyone's just waiting for this next either green flag or stage pit stop.
Yeah, I wanted to point out also that Jaybird still has the damage on his car, so I don't think he fixed any of that. That's interesting.
Maybe it needed an ice cream in there. Maybe.
Yeah, go ahead and give him something to drink. He's already down 15. Who cares? So just looking around the track right now, looking at where some of these guys are running. John Reimer kind of battling with the 2 of Hunt there, but he's on the apron. He manages to keep it together, however. The 21 riding back there with the 88. It's going to be Moutre and Dabster. The 21 also on the apron. Why is everyone riding on the apron tonight? This is weird. I didn't see this that much in the truck race, but
I was talking multiple grooves earlier. That was not one that I was talking about.
no, that's not generally a groove you like to consider on most tracks.
No. I find myself spinning out when I get on the apron down there. So
I believe, looking behind Moutre and the 21, I believe that's the 9 coming up on them. I'm wondering maybe lap traffic plays a factor here in Shocks getting back up to the 9. Let's look back here.
And another thing that you have to consider here at these small short tracks, half-mile tracks, lap traffic, but also you could be lapped. So you got to stay on the wheel because don't want to go down too many here early.
37 goes low there, kind of lets the 5 go by, and might have gotten a little loose as well. It's starting to look like running this high side is going to be your fastest way around the track, but maybe some of these guys might want to start considering just saving those tires as much as they can, because it's not looking like we're going to get a lot of cautions, so maybe you want your car to be in a good spot towards the end of the stage.
Definitely, yeah. The way that they're driving right now, it looks like they got a few of the cobwebs out early and are keeping it straight. So yeah, good call there. Probably going to see a lot of green flag laps the rest of this race.
Yeah, we don't normally see too many cautions up here in this Cup Series, other than Vegas, which we will not discuss because I'd like to forget that race ever happened. But we see the 9 now. He already got by Moutre, who I believe now would be the free pass car. But he's coming up on the 88. Now, speaking from your personal experience, you're coming up on a teammate. You're in first. You just put a car a lap down. Now you're coming up on your teammate. Do you make that pass?
You make the pass, but if you're the guy about to be passed, you don't make it easy. This isn't, you're racing him just as you would anyone else because you know what's at stake here, but if you're the leader, you can't let up because you know the second you do, the guy behind you is just going to come over and take the position right from you.
Dabster now in the wall a little bit there, coming
up.
Oh, and it looks like the 24 up there, I believe.
Yes, saw that. He did save it, and luckily no one collected him from behind, but scary moment on the backstretch.
Yeah, he almost kind of took the 21 with him, or is it the 2 or the 21? Looks
the 2.
like the 2. Okay, so is Hunt about to be lapped? That's interesting. Given the kind of a role he's on right now, and given last season's performance, I mean, maybe Hunt's not really a short track guy. Doesn't look like it.
The way things are looking right now, I don't know if you can blame the guys that aren't up front as much as you look at the dominant performance right now from McDawg. He is just on a rail going around this track and about to pass some cars that you discussed as maybe some possible chance to win today.
Yeah, I mean, we saw, it looked like the only car that really had the speed to match the 9 was his teammate in the 24 Cup, but mistakes. I mean, I do this kind of game every time we race it, like a short track or something. You kind of just hang back, let someone make a mistake, and then make the pass, And the 24 made a mistake, the 9 went by, and now he's running away with it. So we'll see if the 24 can get back up to the front and hold on to it next time. But as of now, yeah, the 9's just going to run away with this race. He's definitely winning stage 1, I think.
Let's see. It's always interesting here as you get towards the end of a run on tires. Oh, and it looks like we have reached. The cars are slowing down. Got a caution here, actually.
Yeah, so that was either a caution or the end of the stage. I apologize. We do not have Core, our normal pit analyst, to give us this information, but we're just kind of working with the information we have currently. So
I would have to say, just based off of the way the guys have been going around the track, end of our first stage there. But more importantly, a lot of people were happy to see that stage end, right? So, top drivers about to go a lap down.
Yeah, that stage was a mess for quite a few of these favorites to win this. So I mean, McDawgFan, I'm sure he's pretty happy right now. Really ran away with that. But Cup, I'd imagine Groove, I'd imagine Moutre, guys like that. Hunt, he was about to be lapped. They're probably very happy this stage is over. Just
Oh my gosh, yes, yes.
So it looks like, as we see, the 37 of Shocks right there in P2 will go on board with the 9 here, your leader, for this restart as they come to the line. We'll see if that high line gets the advantage again, or if McDawgFan can make that low line work and get the initial restart. It looks like he does. He definitely does. Clears that 37. Ooh, kind of got into him a little bit there. The 12 and the 9 kind of down the track.
Kept it straight. Kept it straight, though.
They did manage to save it, but the 37 and the 5 now take P1 and 2. And you've got Hunt in the 2 right there in P4. That's something I kind of like to see, given the fact it looked like he was about to be lapped last stage. So,
but hey,
like you said,
yeah. I was just gonna say, don't look now though. But Shocks, he's kind of been your biggest surprise of the season so far, just for consistency of races, and he's up front right now. So clean air can do a lot of things for a driver. So see if he can keep it.
Yeah, I think at a track like Bristol, once you get out to the lead, you got no cars in front of you, just run your line and do what you do. You might run away with it, you might not, but the clean air, I think, is going to be really important at a track like Bristol. I wouldn't know. I suck at short tracks like Bristol.
You're experienced in dirty air.
I have a lot of experience in dirty air, and it's not fun. So I'm gonna assume the clean air works.
Yeah. We'll live through these drivers up front. But again, with Bristol, you've seen a quick turn of events. You've got the 37 up front, and then the 5 car who was running strong, but if that stage wouldn't ended, was probably going to go a lap down earlier.
Yeah,
now running second. So.
Yeah, and he was getting on the back bumper of that number 37 a little bit there, but still running P2, can't quite get by him. He hits the wall a little bit, gets a little loose. He's going to take that low line. I don't think it's going to work. The 37 is going to have that run coming out, and he does have the initial speed out of the corner. But, Rock, one thing that I am very thankful for, and not a lot of people are going to get this one, but you and me will. In the booth, I can't really get into you.
That's one reason why I decided to come on board with you today. You couldn't wreck me for this time, so keep it clean. So it's much more enjoyable than when I'm trying to pass you.
Listen, man, I've apologized so many times. I don't know why my car is always attracted to yours. It just is.
Yeah.
Man.
It's okay though. We're racing hard, and you can't fault anyone's efforts.
Well, you've always been a champ about it, so I appreciate it. But getting back to this now, I want to go back a little bit here. McDawgFan is P3, but unlike last stage, right, where we saw the 9 kind of run away with it once the 24 made that initial mistake, he's getting pulled by the 37 and the 5.
He is, and look at this. I'm kind of wondering, is he saving right now though? Maybe he felt the car getting loose at the end of the last run. He knows what he's got. Keep the equipment fresh. So that's kind of what I'm thinking.
He's running that middle line there. It looks like he did get a little loose there on that corner exit, but he could be saving. I mean, maybe not. But if he's saving, I'd have to imagine back here, Dawgman in that 12, he must be really saving, because he is pretty far off the pace. That entire group of cars is really. Looks like it's just going to be them doing their own thing while those 2 battle up there. We'll see what the 9 can do, but for now, it's a tale of 2 races for some of these drivers. But
it is, and I'm surprised about Dawgman. You all heard it in the interview earlier. This is, one of his definitely favorite tracks. So you would expect him to be running up front and to be more, racing with those top 2. But so far, not quite there yet. But still a long race to go.
Yeah, still got plenty of time. And there could be other factors as to why he's not running up the front. Maybe there was some contact. Maybe he's just getting in the wall a little bit. You never know. But Yeah, Dawgman. I expected to see him, running up at the front of the pack, at least a little bit by now here in stage 2, but maybe he'll get it back up there. We also see behind them, behind Dawgman, you have Hunt in the 2 and Cup in the 24. And like we said earlier, Cup in the 24 was kind of hanging around. He was P1 leading this race, and he wasn't pulling the 9, but he wasn't letting them by either. Now he just goes by the 2. Let's go back here with Cup. He got by the 2 of Hunt now with that low line, making it stick, making it work. We'll see if he hunts down this 12 car now. I want to watch this battle.
Yeah, a lot of fast cars, I mean, in the middle pack here. So, curious to see, again, the strategy that plays out with these drivers. Maybe they're holding back a bit, but, I mean, I totally expect the Cup to get back up there, as he was running strong there at the beginning before that early race spin. So lots of unknowns still, and so the leaders. I don't know if you caught it there, but we did have a spin on the backstretch with Jaybird in the 20.
Oh,
but
Jaybird!
Crisis averted, and just another lap down.
No, what's one more, right?
What's one more, right?
Oh, he's gonna get mad at me when he watches this back and realizes that I'm coming. I have to remain unbiased during the broadcast, so I'm sorry, but nonetheless, one more lap down for the 20. I think his day is pretty much over. We'll see what else.
Fun, yeah, this early on. I am taking just a look up here at the leaders. Pretty competitive here, and Shocks is getting a run for his money right now for that top spot.
And if you're McDawgFan in the number 9, that is exactly what you want to see ahead of you, because he has caught up in a big way, and he's about to be on the back bumper of that 5.
Yeah, this is a great battle up here in these top 3.
Will continue to stay on, as we see in the back there. Cup looked like he had a little bit of a run on the 12, but he's not going to make the pass right now. So we'll go back on with McDawgFan in the number 9. See if he makes this a 3-car battle, or if he just waits to see if the 5 can get by the 37 or not.
I think it's about to be.
It's definitely getting interesting as he goes on the inside of the 5, but that high side's going to have that run. The 5 looks like he's getting a little loose there.
You asked about passing earlier. This is not an easy track to pass. I like to take the high line coming out of the turns as your best chance, but you really just got to go after it whenever you see an opening.
I wouldn't know. I don't pass people on this track. So.
Well, that's what I would do. So.
I'll tell you, if you want information on how to properly get out of the way of the leaders when you're about to go a lap down, I'm your guy. But in terms of running this track competitively, I'm not going to be of much use. But regardless,
well, you're not alone. Bristol Motor Speedway, it's a tough track. There's a lot of guys that are good at it, but it's definitely not one of the easiest circuits by any stretch of means.
Yeah, absolutely not. Bristol is always very intimidating to me. As the 5 gets into the wall a little bit, it's going to let the 9 get a little bit of time on him. And what was turning into a 3-car battle may still be, but the 37 now kind of putting some distance between he and the 5.
I'm impressed. I was expecting the 5, as he had a heck of a run there to be able to make the pass, but Shocks has held on to the lead here. And McDawgFan continuing to close in. I'm wondering if he's looking at second now.
Yeah, well, as you brought up earlier, he may have been saving his car. It's looking like maybe for a bit there he decided to put it into gear and go for it, but maybe now either maybe Shocks is outrunning him, or he just decided, hey, I'm just going to save a little bit more on these tires, see what I can get later in the stage. I'm wondering, however, if a green flag pit stop. Ooh, Dawgman in the 12 going a lap down. Not sure what happened there as we were watching the battle for the lead, but yeah, the 12 goes a lap down. That's really unfortunate.
No, not having the race that he was wanting to see today.
Oh, the 5. Oh, no.
The mistakes, we'll call it the rocks rule that I was saying earlier. Minimizing mistakes, the key to Bristol, and you just can't have those.
Yeah, I mean, McDawgFan didn't get too aggressive trying to make a pass, it looked like, and his teammate just slipped up, groove into the wall. Got a little loose there. I mean, it happens at Bristol. It's the way it goes, but
Still
that's
early.
still very early, and it's not like he lost a ton of time. He's still P3, and I'm pretty sure Cup P4 is he's pretty far back there, so wouldn't worry too much about it. But
yeah, for any of those guys in the back half, it's really just making sure stay on the lead lap as long as you can.
Yeah, I mean, get what you can, wait for people to make mistakes, take advantage, and just run your line. That's all you can really do if you don't have the initial speed on this track. But that groove incident will put McDawgFan up to P2 as groove goes in the wall again back there. But we'll see if the 9 can gain this ground on the 37. We'll see if he can, now that groove is out of the way, making this pass for the lead, maybe take stage 2. But right now it's looking like Shock's definitely very strong. He might take stage 2 here.
He really is, but I think we might have been on to something about McDawg saving his equipment earlier. We did see guys getting pretty loose there towards the end of the last fuel run, and I think that's kind of what we're starting to see right now when you're talking about groove earlier.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a viable strategy, saving your car until later in the stage when you really need it. And it looks like McDawgFan may have done that, and if he did, he's doing it pretty well. He's putting a little bit of time closing in a little bit on the 37. But as we were talking about, it looks like lap traffic, again, it might play a little bit of a factor here. They're coming up on the 88 of Dabster. That's McDawgFan's teammate. Obviously, at a track like Bristol, I don't think that means too much, but we'll see if the 88 gets out of the way when they get to him, or if he kind of pulls a bad move, slows up a lead car, maybe affects it a little bit.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Because obviously, you know, Sir Dab's not wanting to go a lap down here. He's going to do everything he can to stay on lead lap, but I'm not sure. It just kind of depends on how many laps we have left here.
But don't look now, but the 9's on the outside. Trying to make the pass. He's going down low this time. Could we have a lead change here? We'll see. Coming out of the corner. 37 still with the lead. The 9 a little loose there. Woo. He's going to lose some time there. McDawgFan nearly made it happen. And I think that, yeah, the 9 may have been saving as much as he can this stage 2, because he really put the pressure on there out of nowhere.
Shocks, he is hanging on for dear life, though, and doing a good job, though. I mean, he's still up front.
Oh, yeah. I mean, McDawgFan,
yeah.
McDawgFan is an elite driver in this league, so to hold him off as long as he's held him off, and Groove, the rookie sensation from last season, the Final Four driver, to hold those guys off as long as he has, absolute testament to his skill here. But now we've approached the lap car. The 88 goes low, gets out of the way. That's exactly what you want to see.
Is that did he do it the way you would have?
No, I would have probably put my car in the grandstands to get out of the way there. If I got a pit, I'll pit. It's just get out of the way.
All right. Well, those watching at home, that's how you do it. Then watching the 88 car.
But we see now the 9. They've gotten past the lap car of Dabster and the 88. So McDawgFan in the 9. He's starting once again, putting that pressure on the 37. And I'm wondering maybe if the nerves of the 37 defending from a driver like McDawgFan gets to him, maybe he'll make a mistake.
I think the key right now is to keep that high line, because he's going to continue to have that drive off the corners, and if McDawg doesn't get it, it's going to make it a lot harder to pass.
Ooh, and the 37 kind of in the wall around that corner. The 9's going to be side by side going into the corner this time. But again, the 37 is going to have that run out of the high line, and the 9 gets a little loose there. So he's doing a fantastic job holding off this lead. I know there's a lot of other stuff going on around the track, I'm aware, but watching this battle for the lead is all I want to do right now because it is really heating up.
It really is, and I'm impressed. You know, keep waiting for maybe a mistake to happen out of shocks, and maybe that's what McDawg's been waiting on too, but hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, Shocks has kept it together. He got on the wall a couple times here and there, but McDawgFan also, he saved his car as much as he could, it looks like, but those tires are starting to give out. I can see him sliding.
I feel for these guys. I definitely know the feeling. It's like driving around on ice these last few laps.
There he goes again. The 5 goes by. So the 5 now in P2, I believe. He's got some damage, but there he goes. I mean, McDawgFan got a little too loose coming out of the corner, and that's all the 5 needed to get back up to second and put more pressure on that 37.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about saving. You can use them up quick, and there we go. Yeah.
Now, was that the end of the stage? Do we have a caution? I don't think we have a caution. I don't see anyone wrecking or anything as Jaybird is in the pits. I believe Jaybird has left the race. That is unfortunate, but I mean, it wasn't going to be much better for him regardless.
Cut your losses, yeah, while you can. So maybe it's best for the rest of the race there, but sad to see him go nonetheless.
Absolutely. We haven't talked much about the Great One here. I just want to mention him. He's been kind of running in the middle of the pack, it seems, but some of these guys, like we said earlier, some of these guys are just trying to get what they can get. Looks like Great One, Moutre, maybe those are some of those guys.
Yeah, and looking through this field, I mean, that was a heck of a stage there. A strong run up front for Shocks, but a driver that I'd still kind of keep my eye on here as we're looking through the field is to see, you know, what the Cup can do in the 24. And really, the 5, Groove, has had a strong race, finished second there at the end of that stage. So there's going to be competition for that top spot and the win.
Ooh, the Shocks makes a very aggressive block there, but he took that high line away from the 9, and that's exactly what you have to do. I mean, he didn't get into him. Just making a block like that, taking away that line, making sure that you get the line you want, and he has to adjust to that. That's some textbook racing right there.
I'd say so, and I mean, proving again that the top line's where you want to be.
Absolutely. The 9 trying to make that middle lane work, trying to get under him a little bit, but that run off the corner is just way too fast. I mean, it's not giving the 9 a chance to get under him, really. I mean, he's poking it in there. It's about the best he can do right now. So we'll see.
Yeah, great battling going on right behind our top 2 cars here. You mentioned the Great One earlier. Great battle going on for third place.
Yeah, and you put the 5 in there with the 2 and the 11. That's a crazy battle right there. As they almost did they go 3 wide for a second there?
They did. That's some short track racing. They're pinballing through those corners. I like to see it.
So the 2 comes out victorious for the moment here with this battle, but he's going to have the 5 and the 11 still behind him. We'll see if the 2 makes a run. As we mentioned, the 2 was about to be a lap down, and here he is, P3, it looks like. I mean, he may not be P3. I mean, he may be a lap down or so. Just kind of starting up there near the front, but looking pretty good. Looking fast so far. Mid-race adjustments.
Curious to see if this kind of second pack, as we've called it, you know, can keep up with the leaders here. But again, super impressed with the 37. Still fighting.
I'm pretty sure since he's got a second. So very impressive out of the 37. I wouldn't have exactly put Shocks as my favorite to win this race, but he's going out there and he's trying to win this race. He might pull it off, and to hold off a driver like McDawgFan to get that win would be absolutely huge for you. And it would be Newfound Glory's first win of the season as well. So.
Wow. Even more at stake. But
absolutely.
Bristol, and we've already seen it a couple times, things can change pretty quickly here, right?
Yeah, this guy could go from first to last at in a heartbeat as the 9 hits the wall a little bit there.
I've done it myself plenty of times.
Well,
More
I
like
haven't.
second to last a couple times.
I haven't went from first to last, because then you'd have to be in first to do that. So
Well, you need to do more no tire stops, I guess.
no tires. No, I'm not. Come on, no.
You get up front there.
I'd feel horrible about that, man. I'll do a no tire stop and I'll just duck out of the way for everybody.
There you go.
Just want to lead one lap. That's all I want.
Just kidding. You're selling yourself short.
I feel like I'm a good driver on most tracks, but this one is not one of them. So
no, again, not for a lot of people, but we're seeing some of the best out here tonight.
Absolutely, and you mentioned you wonder if some of those cars in the middle pack can keep up with the lead pack. Even if the 2 of Hunt is a lap down and he's not racing for position, he's keeping up and more. I mean, the 2 and the 5 are battling, but they're closing that distance on the 37 and the 9.
Definitely. And again, getting back to kind of my key point, minimizing mistakes. The drivers up front, if you can kind of wait and back, something could happen, and then boom, you take the top spot from them. So, they're in the right position, is what I'm getting at.
5 really trying to get around that 2 car. I don't know if he feels like he's being held up or what. Make a little bit of contact, and the 5 goes in the apron. That was almost bad. That was almost really bad.
That was. We're getting late enough into this race now where a spin without a caution would be devastating.
Yeah, I mean, you had that safety blanket before of maybe the stage coming to an end. You get back on that restart. You're at the front of the pack maybe, but you spin now. Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to hope for a caution at that point because you can't just make up that kind of time at a track like this.
No, definitely. But I've been impressed with the drivers all around. I mean, a couple mishaps there at the beginning, but everyone's kept it pretty straight and, some good racing, all positions.
We had 1 caution, and I wasn't even in the race yet. So
it wasn't important, didn't I?
Yeah, it was a very early caution. It wasn't that important in the grand scheme of things, I suppose. But the 9, maybe taking a little bit of a different strategy here. He's putting the pressure on early. He's trying to take that spot. Maybe he feels like if he can get to the lead, he can keep it.
Definitely not taking the wait and see approach there in second place. I think he knows that maybe the lead car, that clean air is what you need, and we've talked the high line multiple times so far tonight. He wants that spot, that position on track.
We'll see if he's going to go out here and get it coming into the corner now. Looks like they're running about the same line, but I have not seen, I know we've seen a lot of sliding out of a lot of these cars. I have not seen much sliding out of the 37. He's been pretty stable.
He's found his groove. You can tell, I mean, right there on the hood cam recently, and he's found the way that he wants to be around this track. He maybe made a couple of adjustments at the end of each of these stages, and obviously likes his car.
Just needs to hold on a little bit longer, and he can maybe lock up this win. I don't know if they're going to have to pit, and if they do, I'm thinking it's going to have to be green flag because these guys are racing pretty clean. We may not get a caution here, so green flag pit stops would certainly shake things up.
The ultimate kind of X factor to see how things play out, because it's inevitable there's going to be a mistake on pit road. We'll just have to see how this shakes out, I guess.
Back here with Groove for a second. Running P3 right now. I don't believe he's any laps down, so he should be running P3. Groove was one of those drivers who was competing up there in that lead pack for the lead, but now looks like it's just those 2 drivers pulling away yet again, and the rest of the field is left to compete for P3. I mean, it really is. Nothing is too consistent around this track. As we go back to the front up here, McDawgFan side by side with the 37 of Shocks, but there it is again. You see it time and time again. The 37 with that high line, he's going to get the run out of the corner.
you just can't get the drive off. You know, I've been there before. That low line, while you can get a little bit of an advantage, you know, you just can't get the drive off to complete the pass.
That
So
could
we'll
have
see.
been.
Yeah.
That could have been exactly. I don't mean to cut you off, but the 37 in the wall for a moment looked like the 9 wanted to capitalize on it, but he wasn't in a very good spot to do so. And now, yeah, once again, the 37 clear of the 9. He's putting the pressure on, but unless he can get the 37 to mess up, maybe go too low, I don't think he's going to be able to make the pass.
Oh, he definitely feels the pressure, that's for sure. I think that might have led to that little bit of contact in the wall that you mentioned.
Very possible. I mean, we've seen a very conservative approach from the 9 so far this race. Stage 3 has been anything but conservative for that 9 car. He is really putting the pressure on. And don't look now, but the 5 is right there again. I just discussed how he was just kind of separated. He wasn't running up there with him, and now here he comes, making it a 3-car battle yet again as the 37 in the wall. The 9's going to get under him now. He might clear him. That's going to be close coming out of the corner.
Oh, in the wall again. 37.
That might be it. Oh, they're still not clear. Oh, no. This could get very ugly.
Heck of a battle.
I don't know how Shocks has kept... Oh, back in the wall again.
I think that was it.
That's it. The 9 has the lead. And now the 5 is going to be battling with the 37 for that second place position. This could be what McDawgFan needed.
Yeah, we've been talking about saving equipment, you know, a couple times so far tonight, and you wonder if the 5 car is back there just letting these 2 race out up front, and he might have something here at the end for him.
He's going to try to make that low line work, but as we've said, the high line just gets that run. It's not really... I hear...
And Shocks, inside wall, coming on the back there.
We did not see it, or I did not see it, but I heard it.
A hard hit there, and that is tough to see after such a strong performance.
That's really not good. The 5 is going to battle the 9 now for the lead, but Shocks, if he doesn't get a very good finish out of this race, that was an absolute clinic on playing this track to your strengths and defending while in the lead. That was amazing.
Oh, definitely. I mean, for a good part of this race was the top guy everyone was chasing after. But McDawg, it sounds like he's done a lot of this season, weared him down, and now he's back up front.
And in pre-race interviews, the number 12, Dawgman, said he's looking forward to this. There he is, right behind the 5. I believe he will be in 3rd place.
Don't look now.
The entire landscape of this race changes. Literally, it seems like every lap, something different is happening.
It's been fun to watch, and it speaks to Bristol. I mean, it's Bristol, baby.
It's Bristol. I love that you could just use that for anything. I mean, if you hit the wall, hey, that's Bristol.
It's true. It's why people love this track, though. You know, the unknown. It's fun, and I'm enjoying it.
Now, the 5 in the wall. No, that's not good for him. I mean, I don't think he's going to lose too much time, but there's going to be damage on that car now. That's going to put Dawgman in P2, and he's going to try to run down that number 9, who is in lap traffic right now. Doesn't look like it's going to be too much of a factor, though. He's just going to...
we had the great one, got in a spin on the... Looks like coming out of turn 3 or 4 there. So, might be something to look out for. Looks like no caution, though.
Yeah, we see a little bit of front damage. Let me get this camera right there. We see that front damage there on that number 11 Reggie Motorsports Toyota Camry. That's definitely probably going to slow him down at least a little bit. I don't know how hard the hit was, but great one. Kind of running around the middle, just kind of being there so far tonight. Hopefully he can still pump out a decent finish out of this, but not what you want to see for sure. But I guess better than his teammate sitting in the pit right now. So.
That's true. And unlike our super speedways, aerodynamics not as important here. You can hit the wall a couple times and be okay. But nonetheless, want to keep it as clean as possible.
So if you look ahead of the 9 car right now, you see that 24.
Yes.
I don't understand what's happened to that car. It seems like it's just fallen off the cliffs in stage 1.
Night and day. Hit the apron early, had that spin, but like you said, it was dominant at the beginning, but I guess that's how this race has gone. You know, nothing at the beginning is the same as it is now. And unfortunately, yeah, not running with the top pack.
We'll see if it gets out of the way of these leaders. It looks like the 9 is going to catch up with these guys. And we still don't have a caution, so when do green flag pit stops come into play here? That's going to be a factor, it looks like.
It is, and you got to wonder. I mean, when you're talking green flag, I think if it's a end of a stage, a yellow flag pit stop, you take 4. You know, obviously.
Yeah.
But you know, you got to think about where you can make up some ground, and taking 2 instead of 4 during the pit stop is definitely a play. But we'll see what they do here.
I know I've taken 2 tires quite a few times, and every time I take 2, I instantly regret my decision. I mean, it's hard to control out there, man.
It's that comfort zone. You want the 4 tires. You feel better with the 4. So
yeah.
I'm right there with you.
I feel like any spot you don't pick up because you took 4 tires instead of 2, I feel like you'll get that time back just because of how much faster you're going to be as the 9 does go around the 24 there, putting him a lap down.
Yep. And, I'll agree with you, but sometimes you got to gamble, and gaining that extra, 6, 7, 8 seconds on pit road by taking 2 tires, it can pay off that way. You know what? Sometimes you got nothing to lose.
I mean, yeah, if you got nothing to lose, go for it. Like maybe if you're in the position the 11 is in right now, for example. About to go a lap down. I mean, you just do something to make up some time, see if you can make it happen. But
I would say in this instance, with our lead cars, McDawg, I would say 4 tires for sure. Groove, same.
You look back there, the 12 is in the pit now. I wonder if that's just his scheduled green flag stop, and if we're going to start seeing these now.
I would imagine so. These guys have been going at it here pretty hard for a while.
So we see the 9 does not come down. Maybe he'll come around next time, but if you're the 9 in this situation, just stay out as long as that car will let you stay out.
Oh, definitely. The last thing he wants to see is to come in early, end up going a lap or 2 down, and then this race is over. So, seems like he has good control of the car. No sense in coming in early, keep it out front.
Yeah, just run the car until you can't run it no more. Come down, maybe even if you're feeling brave enough, gas and go, or play your strategy. Take those 2. I mean, I don't.
Crazy over here.
He was pushing the car pretty hard there at the beginning of the stage.
Yeah. It took a lot to get by Shocks.
And then in the end, he didn't really need to, because Shocks made a mistake. It was going to happen, it seemed. I don't think it mattered. I guess you could make the argument that the 9 put the pressure on him and made that happen, but we'll never know, I suppose.
You'll never know. You never know. But,
well, we could.
We could, but unfortunately we don't right now. But we'll find out later. Maybe in post race we'll find out what was going on there. But either way, been a great race, and I've really enjoyed calling this one with you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You have been absolutely phenomenal doing this with me.
In Bristol, one of my favorite tracks too. So fun to watch these guys wheel it around here. And as we go on, I think McDawg's really showing his strength and continues to pull away.
Yeah, I mean, I'm staying on with McDawgFan here because he has not made a pit stop yet, and I want to know that he's the leader. Because every time green flag pit stops go down, the spectator system in this game is it's trash. I don't know who's leading.
No.
Like, how hard would it have been to just put a position ticker in the corner? I don't know.
Apparently harder than we think, I guess.
Well, it seems pretty difficult to make a somewhat decent video game, so maybe we are asking too much.
Yeah, I guess the next one.
We'll see.
I'll keep tabs on the rest of them here. Have Groove in second. And he is coming down right now. Pit road. So, again, seeing the leaders.
Maybe see how long maybe he stays in the pit. See if that's, you know, a 2-tire kind of lap time or pit time.
All right, here he goes.
See what some of these strategies are.
Doing very slow, 35 miles per hour. Pulls in here for some fresh Goodyear tires. Of Sunoco race fuel.
I'm thinking 4 tires here.
We definitely got 4. We definitely got 4.
So Hunt also goes down. The 24th Cup, the 00 of John Reimer in pits.
It is busy.
And the leader is still not down.
Again, have to harp on minimizing the mistakes. You cannot afford to have a pit road speeding penalty right now.
Now, discussing pit road, I don't want to jinx him, okay? But last season, in the playoffs, I want to say it was like the last 3 or 4 races of the season, all in a row, McDawgFan made a pit road mistake, whether it was spinning going in or speeding. And I believe in 2 of those races, he was leading when he made a pit road mistake. And it cost him the race.
It's a good thing he can't hear you right now.
I don't want to jinx him, but I have to bring it up because he's got to make this pit stop soon, and he is on very old tires.
He is. I mean, yeah, valid point. Older the tires, the harder it is to get down pit lane, get it woed down to the appropriate speed. So, I mean, it's worth noting.
So yeah, I'm gonna stay with him.
Thinking about it. So
I'll stay with him. I'll see when he brings that car down for pits, and I'll make sure see if he makes a mistake. But
it appears all the other green flag pit stops came and went pretty mistake free.
Yeah, didn't really notice too many issues with any of these drivers. So I'd imagine pretty much everyone's
4 tires too. So
yeah, I imagine pretty much all these cars have taken the pit stops by now. If not, there's only a couple left, and your leader is one of them. I'm genuinely concerned, how far can this car go? Because he's not bringing it down.
With the way that car's been running today, you know, I'm not questioning his strategy at this point.
There he goes. He makes his entry now. Nice and clean. Now let's check and make sure he doesn't get a penalty. I don't know. I'd imagine he put a couple people some laps down, so I'd imagine he's still leading, but
yeah,
I don't know for how long. So what I'm gonna do here, while I have the chance, I want to make sure he didn't get a penalty, and I'm gonna go into another driver's stream.
All right.
And I'm going to see if I can figure out who's leading this race. It looks like the 22. That's the 22, I believe, leading this race. If what I'm seeing on this stream is correct, I believe Weekend is leading.
All right.
That's very unexpected.
Weekend leading. Did see the 37 of Shocks. He also pitted at the same time as our leader, McDawg, but we need to make sure all green flag pit stops have cycled through. We'll update you here shortly.
Yeah, not entirely sure if they all have, but I would imagine the 22 might not have, to be honest with you.
No,
because the 9 is way faster.
Seen him, yeah, I don't believe I've seen him come down, but should soon. Again, everyone's trying to play the strategy game here.
I want to give a quick shout out to Dabster in the 88 for providing the stream so I could just figure out who's leading this race right now. But yeah, I believe with the speed the 9 has compared to that 22, I don't believe Weekend has made his pit stop yet.
And I don't fault Weekend for staying out as long as possible if he doesn't think he can beat him under normal circumstances. So you never know. Possibly could come out. It's Bristol.
Absolutely. Maybe you get a caution at the right time and it pays off, but he'll stick it out for a little bit longer, see what he can do with it. But if a caution comes out right now, weekend is sitting pretty. Not sure how long it's going to take for the 9 to catch back up.
We do have the 21 car coming down, so if we're talking pit cycles here, we still do have a couple drivers that need to make some stops. So we got the 21 in right now.
21 of Moutre. We did touch on him a little bit in pre-race. He is a very consistent driver. He's a very good driver. As the 22 comes down, that looked okay. That was the wrong line. I thought he came down that fast. I was going to say that's 100% a penalty, but it might not be. So
it looks like he got rode down, but there we go. That should be the last of the lead cars to make their green flag pit stops, and if everything works itself out, that'll put McDawg back out up front, right?
It should. I'm gonna keep watching Dabster's stream here. I'm gonna look. I see Weekend in the pits. I mean, it's a little behind, but I'm gonna wait and see before making any kind of claim. See who's in the lead. But however, okay, so the 11 currently is in the lead. Great one, I don't believe has made a pit stop. I did not think you could go this long.
No, we're seeing a few different strategies here. Everyone waiting and hoping for that yellow flag until they have to make a pit stop. But as these drivers, some of the best, continuing to keep it clean, it's inevitable that the 9 car most likely will be back out front with the shakedown.
Yeah, I don't see, as long as these drivers keep it clean, I don't see anyone other than McDawgFan winning this race right now. But like you said, Bristol, anything is possible. We'll keep. I'm going to keep an eye here on this stream. 11 still currently out. I don't believe he's taken his pit stop yet. So currently leading this race. He's got to come down eventually.
Oh, definitely. And watching these guys go around the track and knowing that I've got a Bristol, just seeing how well this high line goes, it makes me kind of think that I need to maybe rethink my own strategy a little bit.
As we see now, the 11 does make his pit stop, so I will give it an updated leader here in just a moment. But the 11 down on pit road now, led a few laps, is going to take his scheduled stop. And that will indeed put the 9 of McDawgFan back in the lead with, looks like about 30 to go.
You can't blame everyone for trying. That was a pretty good job of all of them, staying out as long as they could.
And another factor, McDawgFan, that entire time, once you make your pit stop, and some guys are staying out, taking the lead, you don't want to make a mistake in that time, because you're going to cycle back out to the lead. But if you make a mistake, that could really screw your race up, and then you might even have to pit again to fix some damage.
That's true. Give it all right back. So, yeah, this is crunch time. He said around 30 to go. Yeah, hopefully these guys have got the cars dialed in. They've had a chance to make a couple adjustments. I'm sure playing around with the wedge, messing around with the tire pressure just a little bit, but down to the home stretch.
Now, if you're McDawgFan right now, you made your green flag pit stop, you were leading by a pretty big margin, do you make any adjustments to the car, or do you just keep it the way it is?
I keep it the way it is. From own experience, you can definitely overdo the adjustments, and sometimes you just gotta let it stick, and it's more of adjusting your own driving style than thinking you have to change the car. So I would, if I had to take a guess, there was minimal adjustments, if any, on that last pit stop.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you got a car and you find something that works, you want to stick with it, but I mean, maybe if you're someone else, you try to loosen the car up, maybe find a little bit of speed, do whatever you can to make up some time. But if you're the 9, you don't change a thing. You just get back out
Definitely.
Run
And with
your
the short
race.
track, when you're running as many laps as you are, 250, you find that rhythm. And I think that's almost more important than sometimes the setup. But always easier to say when you're the lead car too.
Well, I mean, right now, McDawgFan is sitting really pretty because he has absolutely no pressure from any cars battling for position right now. He's got nothing but clean air and no pressure behind him. He's in the best spot you could be in right now.
Yeah, great shape, and it's just crazy again to think just how this race has changed from the beginning to the end. So at the beginning, the 24 car of Cup was really dominant. Unfortunately, had a little mishap there at the beginning. Middle stage of the race, you had Shocks in a 37, just really strong. Really had that top line figured out, but we get into this back half into the race, and it's been all McDawg.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy to think that a race that's dominated by a driver could also have so many drivers be up at the front competing for the lead, because despite the dominance from McDawgFan, Shocks was dominating for a while, Groove was making his presence known in the lead, Cup was dominating the first stage, and then you also had people like Dawgman throw his bone in the fight. So there's been quite a few drivers to make their presence known.
And myself newer to the league, but I think it speaks to the talent that's out there and how close that this season is going to be.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, if you're a McDawgFan, sorry, you're going on your 3rd win of the season, and the season is still this young. You're thinking big things here at this point.
Well, I know if I was him, and I think he mentioned it there at the beginning of the broadcast, really his ticket's punched. He could just go out there, drive it as hard and as fast as he wants, where a lot of these other guys, that are more concerned with points, you got to be more conservative. So if this turns out to be another victory, I don't think it'll be his last.
Oh, definitely not. With how young this season is, McDawgFan's winning multiple races this season still to come. But yeah, getting 3 wins this early on in the season was absolutely huge, because not only do you know you're good, you're locked in, but you're so locked in right now that you could probably miss a handful of races and be perfectly fine. As Cup is in the wall, 21 goes around.
Oh man, that was definitely that was had to have been nervous there for the 9 car as the 24 Cup went right in front of our leader.
Yeah, he almost made contact there with the 9, but managed to get away clean. So still no caution. I know the 21 went around, the 24 hit the wall. No caution for any of that, because NASCAR, whatever. Who cares about cautions? But we'll continue. We'll get back to this dominance we see here from McDawgFan. I try to think back to a point in this race where McDawgFan took it. You know what I mean? Like where was the moment where he decided this race was his? I'd have to say the moment that 37 went in that wall, this race was McDawgFan's. He had it locked up.
I would have to agree with you there. I don't think that we can discount a little bit of a strategy that we noticed. Coming out of that first stage, I think he knew that he had a good car, saved a little bit of his equipment, and as you mentioned, when he found that right moment, he pounced. So I would say that's the turning point, though.
Yeah, so we are now under 10 to go, by the way. The stream's a little behind, and Dapster is a couple laps down, so it's probably closer to about 5 to go right about now. So McDawgFan, barring any ridiculous mistakes, should be fine here to go get this win.
We've seen before. It can happen, but yeah.
I mean, yeah, all it takes is one slip up, one crash, and someone on the lead lap behind you takes that lead. But I think he's going to play the rest of this race pretty conservatively.
Yep. We've
see
seen it
Hunt.
before, late cautions can happen. Judging by the way the race has gone, I don't think it will. But last thing he would want to see.
Class move there. The number 2 Hunt just goes low, lets the 9 go by, so as not to potentially mess up his race. That's exactly what you want to see. He must have been watching a lot of film on me.
I guess so. Ordered the video off.
Well, okay, he went down pretty low there. I thought for a second, there it is. That's how you know a race is over. Oh my
there
goodness.
We go. Oh, yes.
Oh,
it's like a dap, right?
Gave
yeah,
us a show there at the end. I love it.
Oh, finished exciting there at the end. So
that's gonna do it for the race. We're gonna get some post-race interviews going on here. But yeah, that
fun
seemed like dominance there from the 9 car. Once that 37 went around, that was all his. So let me get a few guys in here for post-race interviews. We're gonna get McDawgFan. We're gonna get Shocks. I have to get Shocks. Is there a driver, a third driver, that you think we should bring in here that you have your eye on and noticed?
I would have to say probably looking at either Cup or Groove.
Let's bring Cup in here, defending champion. Kind of dominated stage 1. Let me get these guys in here real quick. Groove was definitely up there. Let's I mean, I don't want to take anything away from Groove, but
oh yeah, let's hear from Cup then.
Yeah, we're gonna go with Cup. He dominated stage 1. You're defending champion, and then some reason the car just seemed to fall off. Not exactly sure what happened there, but we'll get him in here. See if we can get some word on that. But that was kind of a wild race, not in the sense of cautions and crashes, but just the dynamic of the race changing so much over the course of those stages. Very exhausting.
It really was. Oh, sorry. I thought we had McDawg coming in there, but I think he's joining us. But yes, I would say, I mean, the way that the race went, a tale of two halves, really. As we mentioned, the Cup really dominating that first segment, that first stage, but fell off quick, and then it was really a 2-car race to the finish with Shocks and McDawg. So, but great race all around. But I think the best car ended up winning.
So I do believe we have McDawgFan in here right now.
You sure do.
All right. Well, we interviewed you before the race, and I asked you if it wasn't going to be you, which of your teammates would win. That was an irrelevant question, wasn't it?
Man, this is my place. You know that. I've always told everybody I was baptized in short track, so Bristol's kind of my thing, man. There's something about it. I get amped up about it on TV. I get amped up about it on a game. That's just my favorite track in NASCAR as a whole. So to come out there and finally put a full race together and be mistake free, except for our little team high five there at the finish line at the end. But
It looked good.
but it was what a night, man.
Well, we saw throughout that race, it looked like stages 2 and the final stage were just different races. In stage 2, it looked more like you were conservative, kind of saving your car to make a push on the 37 at the end. And in the final stage, it looked more like you were just giving it all she had to get by that car. So why don't you walk me through what your mindset was for stages 2 and 3, and if you did change up the strategy, what made you decide to do that?
All right, so stage 2, the plan the whole race was to be as aggressive as possible. Get out front, get that lead, and then nurse the car and make people make mistakes behind me, kind of like I did at Daytona. Obviously, stage 2, the restart, that didn't work out that well. Shocks was killer on the high side. If he got that high line, he was glued up that way. And once he took the lead, and I ended up falling back to third, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to save my stuff and I'm going to have something for him at the end. So I wanted to see how much tires I could save, how much fuel I could save, and I'm trying to kind of get myself set up for stage three. Um, and I made some good runs at him in stage two, and I kind of learned like where to push and where not to get him to kind of get out of his line because once Shocks is in that groove, he doesn't. Hats off to him, man. He was spot on tonight when I was behind him for most of the race. But once he finally did mess up, I figured out how to get around him, and I had to jump, man. It was one of those like you're just waiting, and then he messes up, and you got to pounce and make it count. And I think that was the key. If I would have passed him there, he might have took this thing home tonight.
Yeah, the 37 was killing it out there. We were very impressed, but you came out victorious. You now have 3 wins on the season in this very young season. You mentioned earlier that you were relaxed. You're good to go. You're locked in. You got 2 wins. Is that even more so now with 3 wins, or do you feel like you might want to make a push for that all-time wins record?
Brother, the whole last lap and a half, I was singing country songs. Just right around the racetrack. I'm relaxed as could be, man. Cool as a cucumber, they say. But I'm ready to go, man. I don't even know what the next track is. I'm just ready to go. That's just how locked in I am right now. It feels really good. I got a lot of momentum on my side. I can come to tracks with setups that aren't supposed to win and win. You know, it's just everything's on my side right now, and I ain't asking why or how. I'm just rolling with it.
Well, it's called being a good driver, and that's exactly what you are.
I appreciate that, fellas.
Congratulations.
Thanks, guys.
All right, have a good night.
You too, man.
All right, do we have? I didn't see to see if everyone joined. Do we have Cup in here, or do we have
Yeah.
Shocks in here?
Sorry about that. I was just changing my chat audio.
Okay, so Cup. Yeah, I'm just trying to get to your scheme right here so I can do the thing I always do. Cup. Uh, Stage one. You were leading for quite a while. But once you fell out of the lead, you kind of, I don't know, the car didn't seem to be the same. Did it feel different, or did it feel slower, or were you just kind of in your own head there at that point?
Well, stage one, I knew my car. I mainly used it for the high line. Haven't really done too much practice on the low line, so in stage one, when I was forced to go low, I just haven't had enough practice there, spun out. Got a little damage from that, and I was just mediocre for the rest of that stage. And then the rest of the race, running good, and I screwed myself up multiple times, and that's what just killed me tonight. It's just overdriving the car.
You definitely looked very strong early on, and it's an unfortunate finish to what looked like was about to be a really good race for you. But you are the defending Cup Series champion. You've had a pretty good season so far. You're sitting in a decent spot in points, but obviously you'd like to be a little higher. Um, are you looking at a repeat this year? Are you thinking you do have what it takes to, even if you have to point your way back in again, you think you got what it takes to get back in there right now?
I don't know about winning it, but I think I can get back up in the mix again. I think if I just keep running consistent races, I got to get back to like playoff mode, man. I was practicing like every day, and just I didn't even worry about winning, just running consistently. And I just got to get back to doing that again, and good things will come my way.
Mr. Consistency is your nickname for a very good reason. So I believe you'll make a pretty deep playoff run. You might make it back to the Final Four, and if you do, that would be absolutely wild to point your way into another championship. That'd be crazy because you made me look stupid the first time.
I want to put money on it, but I think I make a run at it this year.
Well, buddy, I hope you do. You did a good job tonight. It's unfortunate the way it ended, given how fast your car looked at times. So, but
Yes, sir.
you'll go back out there and get her. So, congratulations,
I
buddy.
hope
Have a
so.
good one.
Yep. Nice job, broadcasting. You guys have a good night.
Thanks, man. Now we do not currently have Shocks in here. Um, is he in? Let me check one thing real quick. Okay, so Shocks is in the group, so I'm gonna try one more time to get him in here. Not sure if he might not have even noticed it, to be honest with you. I mean, everybody was congratulating him. He might have. There he
Yep.
is.
There we go. There we go.
I didn't know we were all supposed to join at once.
Oh, got you. Okay, well, Shucks, you absolutely killed it out there today. Bristol. Is Bristol a favorite track of yours?
Yeah, I mean, just because I know how to run that high lane and just kind of steal the lane away. I kind of feel like I've practiced that pretty well. But, I mean, it's a great track in real life, and so yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, you I don't want to say, like I said it during the broadcast over and over again. Given last season's results for you, the attendance wasn't as consistent as it's been this season, so it was a little surprising to see you run up there as well as you are. But it's not even just this race; it's just this season in general. You're having a great season, and leading the race for as long as you did. Absolutely, I thought you were about to run away with this race until that one mistake. Can you walk me through what happened there when you lost the lead?
Yeah, I just kind of got out of my line, and then McDawgFan picked the perfect time to pass, obviously, right when I make a mistake. And I want to say the dirty air hit me like a truck because it really felt like my car just did not feel just did not feel the same as soon as I got behind him. But at the same time, our tires were going, so that was like right when my car just fell off, and I was just not ready. And yeah, he got away after that.
Yeah, I mean, we saw a bunch of guys kind of sliding on tires and all that, but you defended against McDawgFan for a pretty long time, basically the entirety of stage two, it seemed like. So, sorry, I had a little bit of something stuck in my throat. But how long you defended? Did you feel that entire time through stage two and going through stage three? Did you feel the pressure on you? Was looking in that rearview mirror and seeing those guys behind you?
Yeah, I definitely felt it. If I hit the wall for too long, I know he was gonna pounce on me and try to take it. But I felt like he was actually giving me a lot of room. So it was really nice that he wasn't like pushing me up the track or anything. But he was there, and yeah, I really felt it.
Well, I mean, you guys put together a lot of really clean green flag laps there, and that was an amazing battle to see. I kind of want to go back and watch over this broadcast just to see that battle again. But still, P2 for you. Amazing job tonight. Absolutely killed it. Congratulations, buddy. I'm sure that first win for Newfound Glory's coming this season, and I got a feeling it's going to be you that gets it.
Yeah, well, we got Dover coming up, and I'm pretty good there. So we'll see. I gotta re-go over my setup, make sure it's better. But yeah, Dover is a pretty good track for me, so this is a great momentum for it. So see it.
All right. Well, we look forward to seeing it, buddy. But congratulations, great job tonight. Excellent job. You killed it.
Thank you.
We'll talk to you later, man.
See ya.
Well, Rock.
Whew. What a good race. Good night.
Amazing race, absolutely. That battle for the lead was intense for the longest time, and it looked like it wasn't ever going to let up. But real quick, before we go off here, I wanted to go over the top 10. First, McDawgFan. Second, Shocks. Amazing finish for him. Third, Weekend. So he did still pull out a great finish. Sorry. Hunt in the number 2 car gets fourth. Groove is the first car lap down in fifth. The Great One comes home P6. Dawgman 7th. Cup 8th. Dapster 9th. And Mootray 10th. 5 laps down. So, absolutely crazy race from Bristol tonight.
It sure was, and really interesting just hearing from the drivers afterwards, how much they were talking the same thing that we were throughout the race, running the high line, minimizing mistakes, was really the key to the race. And but at the end of the day, like I said earlier, I think the best car won.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these cars showed speed, but the 9 car was just, it seemed like the most consistently fast car. Even when he was just conserving his car, it was
Hmm.
still fast. So,
Yep, definitely.
but real quick, I'm going to go ahead and go in the schedule just to give next week's schedule so everyone knows what's going on. Let's see. So, next week, Monday on the 10th, we have Dover. The 12th on Wednesday, which is my birthday, they will be at Charlotte, which is my home track,
Mm.
so that's cool.
Happy early birthday.
Oh, thank you, buddy. And the 14th, next Friday, will be Atlanta. So Dover, Charlotte, and Atlanta. That is a pretty packed week of racing there.
Sounds fun.
Sounds amazing. But Rock, I appreciate you coming out here and helping me out, buddy. You did an amazing job.
That was great. Great racing tonight, and yeah, it was a pleasure.
Well, if I ever need your services again, which will probably be very soon because Core doesn't want to do this anymore. He wants to be the pit guy. So I will
His
definitely,
loss.
absolutely, he missed a crazy race, but definitely look forward to doing this with you again. And I look forward to having you back in the booth. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
And for everyone watching, thank you for coming out, joining, watching the race. I hope you guys had fun. Tried to put on a good show for you. Uh, yeah, McDawgFan, your winner, third race of the season already. So looking like a pretty historic year for the number 9. Thank you all for coming out, and I hope you all have a great night. See y'all next Friday at Atlanta.